Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Daily Speak, the English podcast where we help you speak naturally, confidently, and without fear. If you enjoy learning practical English in a simple way, make sure you follow the channel and share this episode with a friend who is also learning English.
Yes, and today's episode is going to be very interesting because we are talking about three small words that create big confusion.
Very big confusion.
Almost, nearly, and barely.
Before we start, Leo, how was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend. Honestly, I planned to go to the gym on Saturday morning, but I almost didn't wake up in time.
Almost didn't wake up?
I nearly missed my alarm completely. I barely opened my eyes before it stopped ringing.
Ah, did you hear that, everyone? He just used all three words naturally in just a few sentences.
Oh no, I walked into that one, didn't I?
You did, but that is perfect because today we are going to understand how these three words work in real life, not just grammar rules.
And these words are very common in daily English conversations. Native speakers use them all the time, but learners often feel confused, especially between almost and nearly.
Yes, many students say things like, I nearly finished, when they actually mean, I barely finished.
Exactly. Or they use almost for everything, when sometimes barely is the right word.
So, today we are fixing that.
But slowly, calmly, step by step.
Let's begin with something simple.
Imagine this situation. You are running to catch a bus.
And the bus is just about to leave.
You can say, I almost missed the bus.
Or, I nearly missed the bus.
Both mean the same thing here. You were very close to missing it, but you did not.
That is the first important idea. Almost and nearly, in many situations, mean exactly the same thing.
They are interchangeable in most everyday sentences.
So, if someone says, I almost finished my homework,
You can also say, I nearly finished my homework.
same meaning, same feeling, no difference.
But notice something important. Both almost and nearly mean you were very close to something, but it did not happen completely.
Very close, but not quite there.
So we say, I almost fell asleep in the meeting, meaning I was very close to sleeping, but I did not actually sleep.
Or, she nearly cried when she heard the news, meaning she was very close to crying, but she stopped herself.
Now here comes something interesting. Almost is slightly more flexible than nearly.
What do you mean?
Almost can be used in more situations than nearly. For example, we can say almost everyone came to the party.
Almost everyone, meaning nearly all the people, but not quite all.
But we can also say almost never, almost always, almost impossible.
Almost never, almost always, almost impossible.
Now try the same with nearly. Nearly never sounds strange.
Yes, nearly always sounds a little unnatural too.
So in these cases, with words like never, always, impossible, nothing, we prefer almost.
Almost never, almost always, almost impossible, almost nothing.
Not nearly never, not nearly always.
Good difference. Let's say that again slowly. Listeners, repeat after us. Almost everyone.
Almost everyone.
Almost never.
Almost never.
Almost always.
Almost always.
Almost impossible.
Almost impossible.
I nearly finished.
I nearly finished.
I almost finished.
I almost finished.
Perfect. Now let's move to barely, because this one is very different.
Very different. And this is where most learners make mistakes.
Barely does not mean almost or nearly at all.
Barely means just enough, but only just, or sometimes almost not at all.
For example, I barely slept last night.
That means I slept, but only a tiny little bit, almost no sleep at all.
Or, she barely passed her exam.
I barely passed. I passed, but only just. Now let's make it more real. Imagine two students after an exam.
Student 1 says, I almost passed.
That means I did not pass. I was very close, but I failed.
Student 2 says, I barely passed.
That means I passed, but I got the minimum score. It was extremely close.
Two completely different results. Same sounding words, completely different meanings.
This is exactly why learners confuse them.
Now, let's talk about another very common mistake.
Many learners say, I barely almost did it.
That is not correct in English. You choose one or the other, almost or barely, never together.
And another very common mistake, learners use barely in positive situations.
For example, I barely won the competition.
That sounds strange. Barely winning means you won, but only by the smallest margin. That is actually correct, but the feeling is negative.
Yes, barely always carries a slightly negative or difficult feeling. You did something, but it was hard or there was almost not enough.
Almost and nearly feel more neutral, just close to something.
Now let's do some quick practice. I say a situation. Leo, you choose the correct word.
Ready.
You were running for the bus and you caught it, but only just. You arrived as the doors were closing.
I barely caught the bus.
Perfect. Barely because you did catch it, but only just. Now you were running for a different bus and you missed it by 1 second.
I almost caught the bus.
Correct. Almost because you did not catch it. You were very close, but you missed it. Now you stayed awake all night studying. You only slept for 30 minutes.
I barely slept.
Perfect. You slept, but only a tiny amount. Now you finished reading a very long book. You had 10 pages left when you had to stop.
I almost finished the book.
Correct. Almost because you did not finish it. Very close, but not complete. Now your turn, Leo. Give me situations.
You ate breakfast this morning, but only 2 small bites because you were late.
I barely ate breakfast.
Perfect. Barely because you did eat, but almost nothing. Now, you tried to remember your friend's phone number, but you could only remember the first few digits.
I almost remembered it.
Correct. Almost because you did not quite remember it. Very close to remembering, but not complete.
Now let's mix all 3 words in one situation.
Good idea.
Imagine 2 friends are hiking up a very difficult mountain.
Ooh, I feel tired just thinking about it.
Friend 1 says, I almost gave up 3 times on the way up.
Meaning they were very close to giving up, but they did not.
Friend 2 says, I nearly fell off the path near the top.
Meaning they were very close to falling, but they did not fall.
Then both friends reach the top together and say, we barely made it.
Meaning they did make it to the top, but only just. It was extremely hard and very close to not happening.
See how naturally all 3 appear in that one story?
Almost for being close to doing something, but not doing it.
Nearly for being close to something but not reaching it.
Barely for doing something, but only just.
Now let's talk about pronunciation because these words can be tricky to say quickly.
Almost. Say it slowly. All-most. Almost.
Nearly. Near-ly. Nearly.
Barely. Bare-ly. Barely.
Listeners, repeat after us one more time. Almost.
Almost.
Nearly.
Nearly.
Barely.
Barely.
I almost did it.
I almost did it.
I nearly forgot.
I nearly forgot.
I barely slept.
I barely slept.
Beautiful. Now let's do a correction practice. Real-life sentences. I will say a wrong sentence. Emma, you think about the correction.
Ready.
Wrong sentence. I barely almost finished my essay.
Wrong. You cannot use both together. Choose one. Either I almost finished my essay, meaning not done, or I barely finished my essay, meaning done, but only just.
Perfect. Next one. I nearly always wake up late.
This one sounds a little unnatural. Better to say I almost always wake up late, because with always, we prefer almost.
Good. Next one. She barely missed the train.
Wrong feeling here. Barely missing means she did not miss it, which is confusing. Better to say she almost missed the train, meaning she was very close to missing it, but she caught it. Or she barely caught the train, meaning she caught it, but only just.
Excellent. Now let's do one final story conversation using all three words naturally.
I love this part. Okay, two colleagues talking after a very busy day at work.
Colleague 1 says, "Today was insane. I almost missed 3 meetings."
Colleague 2 says, I know, I nearly forgot to send the report to the manager.
Colleague 1 says, "Did you send it in the end?"
Colleague 2 says, yes, but I barely finished it in time. I sent it with 2 minutes to spare.
That conversation felt completely natural.
And notice, almost missed, nearly forgot, barely finished. Each one used perfectly in context.
Almost and nearly for things that did not quite happen.
And barely for something that did happen, but only just.
Barely for something that did happen, but only just.
Now here's something important to remember.
Yes, a memory trick. Almost and nearly, think of them as cousins, very similar, interchangeable in most situations, but almost is more flexible with words like never, always, nothing, impossible.
And barely, think of it as the survivor. It survived, but only just. It happened, but barely.
The survivor. I love that.
So when you hear barely, think it happened, but it was a very close call.
And when you hear almost or nearly, think it did not happen, but it was very, very close.
Let's say the memory tricks one last time. Repeat after us. Almost and nearly, very close, but did not happen.
Almost and nearly, very close, but did not happen.
Barely, it happened, but only just.
Barely, it happened, but only just.
Almost never, almost always, almost impossible.
Almost never, almost always, almost impossible.
I barely made it.
I barely made it.
I almost gave up.
I almost gave up. Perfect. Now it's time for our community question.
Yes, this week we want you to write 3 sentences in the comments below.
1 sentence using almost,
1 sentence using nearly.
and 1 sentence using barely.
Talk about something that happened to you this week, something real, something from your own life.
For example, I almost missed my bus this morning. I nearly forgot my phone at home. I barely finished my lunch before my next meeting.
We read every single comment, and we will help you if you make a mistake. That's our promise.
If this episode helped you understand almost, nearly, and barely more clearly, make sure you follow English Daily Speak.
Share it with a friend who uses these words the wrong way every day.
And write your sentences in the comments. We love seeing your progress.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and most importantly, don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Because neither Emma nor I were perfect when we started.
And we'd rather see you try than stay silent.
See you in the next episode.